Hi, everybody. Hopefully your journey down the road to glorious algebra is going well. We are continuing on our trek, and we're going to make life a little bit more complicated. However, today's lesson you actually already know, or at least you did it with me, assuming you've been following along with the entire course back in Chapter 3. So hopefully you're going to look at this and go, hey, no problem. And you're going to take the opportunity just to make sure you really are good with what you think you know. More practice, more practice, more practice, right? So as I said, we did cover this back in Chapter 3. Let's review those skills and make sure that you know, make sure that you understand. So let's expand. And when we say expand, come on, it means we're multiplying everything that's in the brackets. Now, I'm not going to expect you to write this out every time. But that's the thinking process. So if we're going to expand the second one out, remember, that's a terrible squared. I'll fix it up later. When we do y times y, it becomes y squared. Okay. And it doesn't matter how many terms are inside the brackets. Whatever's outside, we multiply it by everything. Now, it might only be a negative sign in there. We could think of it as being a -1, if that makes you happier. Okay, so far so good? Excellent. So our game plan updates ever so slightly. Yesterday, all we worried about was getting variables to one side, numbers to the other side, and then solve for a positive variable. Right? We want x. We don't want negative x. Got to pay attention to those integers. This is why I was such a grumpy puss about integers earlier in the course. However, now we're adding in that one extra thing. Expand and collect like terms if it's necessary. Okay? The first 3 days we spent on algebra, you didn't have to expand. Yesterday's work, you did have to collect like terms. So, you know, sometimes you have to do things, sometimes you don't. You just need to be aware that you have to look. So, for example 1, using our expanding skills, and all of a sudden we're back into two-step algebra. Remembering my suggestion of dealing with the addition first. What is it? That's 36. And it's not much harder than what we've already been doing. This one proves to be a little bit trickier. It looks daunting. It looks scary. But if we think of it one step at a time, all right, so let's expand. Remember, it's an M and not an X. Remember those signs. Okay, now since I have a 3 on the left and a 5 on the right, I prefer positive M's. Just because I'm that kind of guy, we're going to move it over. Notice, I didn't show how I did it. If you get comfortable with this, you are welcome to after this unit. But for this unit, I want to see all those individual steps. Oh, what is it? -10.5. Notice I flopped it around. My M was on the left and I moved it to the right. That's okay. There's no problem with doing that. And for those of you who don't like your variables on the right side, that's how you get around it eventually. And that's it for today, guys. Remember to drop me a line if you're having any troubles with the work.